Top 10 Avatar Sequel Movie Facts. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're counting down our picks for a list of the best and most interesting top 10 Avatar Sequel Movie Facts. For this list, we'll be looking at all the biggest things we know about the upcoming sequels to James Cameron's Avatar. What are you most excited about with the upcoming Avatar movies? Anything we missed? Let us know in the comment section below. Number 10. Multiple movies in the making. James Cameron is currently shooting not one, not two, but 3 Avatar sequels at the same time, and will soon begin work on a 4th. After the explosive success of the 2009 fantasy movie that pushed the boundaries of computer graphics and 3D, while becoming the highest-grossing movie of all time, Cameron's been mapping out how to continue the story into a franchise. And like all things Cameron is involved in, what he came up with is extremely ambitious. It was announced last September that Cameron had began production on 4 Avatar sequels in succession on a budget of over $1 billion. All the movies are planned to open over Christmas from 2020 to 2025, and the only way to pull that off is to shoot different parts of all the movies at the same time. This is similar to what Peter Jackson did with his Lord of the Rings movies. After Avatar came out in 2009, it broke box office records, and shortly after its astonishing success, James Cameron signed a deal to create 2 follow-up films. Since their inception, the idea has been to film them simultaneously so they could be released in roughly 2-year increments. In 2016, Cameron announced that there would be a total of 4 Avatar sequels. They've been following that plan since day one, with reports saying that a considerable amount of all slated films have already been filmed. Even with many delays, which we'll get to shortly, the groundwork has been laid out for a lot of Avatar content to come. Number 9. The cause behind the delay. According to Cameron, getting the story to work has complexities for a saga with 3 films that one doesn't get in making just one film. Cameron also revealed that the 3 films were being written simultaneously to keep everyone in the production team on track. They have been delayed indefinitely due to the coronavirus pandemic, James Cameron has confirmed. The film, which was scheduled to be released 17 December 2021, will now be released 1 year later on 16 December 2022. Prior to COVID-19, everything was on track to bring you the first sequel in December of 2021. Did you know that the original Avatar was first slated for release in 1999? It was delayed constantly by the director because he felt the technology wasn't there yet to shape his vision. But that's not the only reason it's been delayed this time. It's known he does demand a lot of his actors, and in the first film he sent his cast to the Hawaiian tropical rainforest to prepare them for the tribal settings before filming. Writing off the sequels took considerably longer than expected, and of course COVID-19 halted production. The theatrical release has been delayed 8 times, but we're sure the result is going to be worth the wait. Number 8. The casting. In the story, Jake Sully and Neytiri have formed a family and are doing everything to stay together. However, they must leave their home and explore the regions of Pandora. When an ancient threat resurfaces, Jake must fight a difficult war against the humans. It's been confirmed that Avatar 2 will follow Jake and Neytiri as they raise their children on Pandora, potentially setting the new generation up as the protagonists for future films. Sam Worthington and Zoe Saldana will be returning for their roles, but we'll also have newcomers with unconfirmed roles, actors like Jermaine Clement, Vin Diesel, Una Chaplin, Cliff Curtis, Eddie Falco, and more. Sigourney Weaver is confirmed to return, but not as the same character. The big bad from the first film, Colonel Miles Quaritch, will also be returning despite being impaled with an arrow last time we saw him. It seems like that cast is geared for success with such a fantastic lineup. Number 7. High-budget movies. James Cameron's Avatar was, and still is, the most expensive wholly original movie ever made, with a budget of around $240 million. The budget to create Avatar 2 is no surprise, considering the amount it cost the first film to make. It is a whopping $250 million, and each of the 4 sequels combined is estimated to cost $1 billion, according to a report from Deadline. James Cameron has a habit of spending exorbitant amounts of money on his films in the name of technological progression, and the Avatar sequels are no exception. With an estimated collective budget of the movies being over $1 billion, it could be the most expensive film shoot of all time. It's understandable given how adventurous the project is. Half of it filmed in live action and the other half CGI, but given James's track record, we'll probably be seeing some phenomenal stuff as a result. The first entry made around $2.847 billion in the box office, so it's safe to say that people can expect a return on their investment. Number 6. Video game collaborations. The Avatar property has a lot of extra content released after it hit theaters. There were action figures, books, even postage stamps, but one of the standout additions was the tie-in video game by Ubisoft Montreal. It featured a completely original story set before the events of the film. It was met with generally favorable reviews. As to be expected with that will be a groundbreaking release, Ubisoft is set to create a second standalone title named Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. The game was announced at E3 2021, and the tantalizing details are sure to entice any fan. Number 5. Retaining the 3D experience. Remember the 3D movies which had you wearing some plastic glasses while you watched? While James Cameron's Avatar didn't pioneer the tech, it was its most notable usage in cinema. The film is better experienced on the big screen, and having the environments pop out at you helped immerse you in the world. While the add-on has mostly taken a backseat in recent years, James hasn't given up on it. In 2016, it was reported that he had been trying to push for a glasses-free 3D experience. James disputed these rumors as he didn't think the tech would be ready for a 2018 release, but that doesn't rule out that the glasses might make a return. Number 4. Advanced technology. What technology is so groundbreaking to make James Cameron wait this long to release his movies? As one of the most prolific directors of the time, he has a lot of sway in the industry. So when Cameron wanted a completely new camera for this film, Sony actually made one called Venice with his specifications in mind. Industry-leading visual effects company Weta Digital helped Avatar use motion capture to create CGI performances that still hold up to this day. So of course he had to one-up himself, because this film now has the motion capture that works underwater. This is an incredibly difficult feat, as most motion capture relies on light to be able to record the necessary data. Number 3. Impressive acting. It's not just the technology that is shattering expectations, but also the actors. The locations for Avatar 2 and onwards feature a lot of underwater scenes. Since the characters are performing while underwater, they're not always given breathing apparatuses. It's just about holding your breath and taking some inspiration from our friends under the sea. But Kate Winslet wasn't going to let that stop her from giving it her all. During filming, she broke the record for the longest record-sequenced film underwater, holding her breath for 7 minutes. This record had previously been held by Tom Cruise for a scene during Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation, which was 6 minutes. It was so grueling afterward, Winslet thought she had died. Number 2. Fresh new story of Pandora. You may be wondering why Kate Winslet had to hold her breath for so long in the first place. The story of the new Avatar films will be set years after the original. The scripts reportedly took around 4 years to write and will have an overarching plot connecting all the films. New and old characters will return, but perhaps the most exciting part is a bigger glimpse into the world of Pandora. It turns out that there are tribes who live exclusively underwater, which might explain Winslet's underwater Navi ceremony scene. We also know that the working titles for the 3 follow-ups are Way of Water, The Tolkien Rider, and The Quest Awa. And at number 1, insane attention to minute details. If all the previous entries aren't enough to convince you that the Avatar films are going to be insane, then let's look at the finer details. James Cameron went to incredible lengths to figure out every single detail in the world of Pandora. This included extensive research into creating the environments, even considering filming part of the film in the Challenger Deep, the deepest point of the Mariana Trench. He spent years developing the language and the music with linguistic experts, but perhaps the most heartwarming is that he recruited deaf actor C.J. Jones to assist in developing an original alien sign language. How awesome is that? And with that, we have come to the end of today's video. Don't forget to join in next time for more such interesting content. Goodbye.